Am I audible? Hello, hello.
Yes, sir.
Good. Okay. So I am repeating day before yesterday's class. It will be on the variables. Right? Variables. Okay. Say for example, you have a collection 1 here. Okay. Okay, you have a collection. Request 1, request 2, request 3. Collection 2, collection 3, 4, 5. Okay, there are two collections. Collection 1, collection 2. Each having 3 requests. Okay, na? So far clear? No issues. In all the requests, you have the URL to be as a common functionality or common item. Okay. Okay, na? I'm just saving everything. Okay. Common URL. Correct. So if anything is common, we will take it as a variable. There are 2 collections with 3 requests each having common things in common are the URL. Correct. So now this common URL, I will remove it. I will define this as a variable. You see a icon there on the left hand side here. Correct? There are 2 things here. There is a global variable and an environmental variable. There is a global variable and an environmental variable. I just edit this, delete it. I just edit this. And just save this. Right. Now you do not have anything. So I have deleted all the environmental variables and the global variables. Okay? Clear? Now, an environment is a set of variables that allow you to switch the context of your request. Global variables are a set of variables that allows available in a workspace. Right? Are you able to see this? Online guys. Are you able to see this? An environment is a set of variables that allow you to switch the context of your request. Correct? Global variables. are a set of variables that are always available inside a workspace. Correct? Now, which workspace are you in? You are in my workspace. That is the default thing. Okay. Now I will define one PMP Bob. First floor. 180. Okay, sorry. Okay, let us start from the beginning again. Global variable and environmental variable. When we see the definition of the global variables are a set of variables that are always available in the workspace. Environmental variable is a set of variables that allow you to switch the context of your request. Correct? So here, you have different environments. If there are no environments, it is only no environment, you can add an environment. Environment is nothing but your QA, UAT, prod, something else. Different environments in different companies. Usually we work on the QA environment or the UAT environment. There is something called as production environment as well. Pre-prod environment or production environment or prod environment. They may call it in different names, but usually they will have minimum of 3 environments or 2 environments. Okay? Now, when I select a particular environment, this particular collection is available in that particular environment. It has to get executed in that particular environment. If I switch the environment to something else, this particular collection will be used in Mark II environment. Correct? Is it easy? The environment variable defined in the Mark II will not be used in the other environments. Simple. Okay. Global variables are something like across the workspace, whatever environment you may have, 10, 15,000 of environments, whatever environment you may have, you will be able to execute it. You will be able to use it. Simple. We will see that. I will demonstrate you that. Prod environment. Okay. I am defining, see, prod. It is given as a prod. The environment is prod. Is it visible? I'll edit this, add a variable URL prod. Okay, na? The value will be this particular variable value, which is in common. URL is in common, so I have taken in that way. Heard, Arsha? Belmada? One minute. ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಕೆಳಗಡೆ ಅಲ್ಲ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಫ್ಲೋರು ಮೆಟ್ಲು ಹತ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಕು ಸರಿ ಆಯ್ತು ಹೌದು ಆಯ್ತು default. Okay, I'll save this. I will use this particular request or this particular thing here. The syntax of defining a variable is this: double bracket, open and close. Oh, URL prod. PROD. Right? Now it changed into a color of environmental variable. Okay. Okay, na? Now I will execute this. It will execute. You got successful response. So this is environmental variable. Correct? Now, if I switch this particular Mach 2 environment, if I switch this particular environment, now is it displaying in red color or green color? ಯಾರೋ ಬೆಲ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದು ಲುಮಿನಿಯಸ್ UPS ಅಂತ ಬೆಲ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ನೋಡಿ. ಸರಿ ಆಯ್ತಾ? Now it is throwing an error. Why it is throwing an error? Because you have defined the environmental variable in the prod. This is something else. See, URL prod is defined in prod environment, but you are trying to use it in Mach 2 environment. So it will throw an error. Simple. You got to know what is environmental variable. The variable which is defined in a particular environment cannot be used in other environments. Clear? Okay na? The same thing I will define it in the global. Okay. URL G. Okay. Okay. Now I am in the Mach 2 environment. I am in the Mach 2 environment. I will go and verify it here. Aita? Oh, URL G. Correct? Now it is working fine. Irrespective of the environments, whether it's in the prod or Mach 2, a variable defined in the global, it can be utilized in any of the environments within the workspace. Understood? Correct? Right. I'll go to collections. Aita, there is something called as variables. Now I'll define a variable called as URL C. Okay. I have two collections. The collection 1 has a particular variable called as URL C. The same thing I cannot use in collection 2. URL C. It is throwing me an error. So collection variable can be used within the variable. Sorry, within the collection. Easy? Easy or difficult? Environmental variable is used within the environment. It is not accessible outside any of the other environments. Globally declared variables can be utilized anywhere in the workspace, irrespective of the environment. Collection variables are used only within the collection. Clear? ಯಾರಿಗೆ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ? Do it once. Do in your system. ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಲ್ಯಾಪ್ಟಾಪ್ ಐತ್ ತೆಗಿರೋ ನಾನು ಅದೇನು ಮರಿಯಾಕತ್ತ Is it fine? Online guys, did you understand the concept of variables? Hello.
Kira control
collections the collection ಮೇಲೆ click ಮಾಡಿ create ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಅದು variable ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಇಲ್ಲಾಂದ್ರೆ ಇದು ಮಾಡಿ see usually ನಿಮಗೆ ನೆನಪಲ್ಲಿ ಇರೋದು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಐ ಐಕಾನ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ Online guys, is it done? Shall I proceed with the authentication and authorization? Hello, mic testing 1 2 3. Collection like collection. Srinath. Raghu, okay. Okay, I am proceeding with the authentication and the authorization. Okay. Now, listen. Is it done? 2 more minutes. Laptop ilva.
Same days it's tested.
చేంజ్ సేమ్
Okay, watch this. Watch this. Watch. On the screen, watch. Everyone, online guys. Okay, this is yatra.com, correct? Here, you have email ID bar mobile number. See, I am explaining you the concept. Okay, understand the concept. Email ID bar mobile number. Continue button. Sign in with Facebook, sign in with Google, correct? You all have Google account. Okay, what is the easiest way to sign in to yatra.com? Sign in with Google, correct? Sign in with Google. I can sign in. Otherwise, you should enter all the details and then click on sign in. Okay, this Google, again, this is an API. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Any button click is an API, right? Now yatra.com has a tie-up with google.com to receive the required information. From the google.com. Simple. So far clear? Yes or no maybe? Correct? Yatra.com login or sign in is a different API. Sign in with Google is a different API. Correct? Yes, sir. Okay, let me give you one more example. Now you want to enter into some website, it will ask you for username and password. You have your username and password. What it will do when you enter, it will send it as a request to the server. It will verify whether the username and the password is right or wrong. If it matches with what you have entered, with what is stored in the server, if both are same, then login is successful. If both are not same, login failed, please enter your password again, verify your password again, all those things will come. Correct? This entering your username and password, verifying it from the server whether it is right and wrong, and then allowing you to enter into the website is authentication. It is called as authentication. You have to authenticate your password, your access. Then it will allow you to log in into, or it will allow you to enter into the website. Clear? Simple. No doubt. The other thing, sign in with Google. Yatra.com is not authenticating the login. Google API is doing instead of Yatra.com. Yatra.com is not going to authenticate. It is asking Google.com to go and verify whether that email ID exists or not. Right? Only authorized persons or the login credentials of Google, if it is valid, then it will allow you to enter into Yatra.com. This is called as authorization. Simple? Easy? Understood or not understood? Should I explain it again? I'll explain it again. Okay? Authentication. When you want to enter into a particular room, you have an access card, right? What will that access card read? It will access your badge ID. If your access ID is right, it will compare it with the stored database. Both it will compare and it will allow you to enter into the room. Correct? Have you seen somewhere only authorized person can access this particular folder? Only authorized person can access into this particular premises. Right? They don't need badges and all. Right? Someone, before entering into that particular room, somewhere else they have authorized it. Someone else is authorizing it. Okay, in the X-ray room, patient and the X-ray person who is in charge, the lab assistant, is allowed to enter. That is authorized access. Right? There that lab technician will not show his ID card every time. They will tell you, you are not authorized, please get out of the room. Correct? That is authorization. Authentication is done by someone else, but they are providing authorizations based on the authentication to allow into some other website. Correct? So what is the advantage for Google? Yatra.com should have paid so much of money for Google to authorize. That is how Google makes money. Yatra.com is a simple website. You have Book My Show, you have other things, or there are n number of websites which will give you this particular option of sign in with Google, right? Every website, every hit and every authorization they will charge you. They will charge Yatra.com. Simple. You got to know what is the difference between authentication and authorization. See, this is my Darwin box where I do all my work of my office. This is not, there is something called as sign in with Google? No. There is nothing called as sign in with Google. Right? I have to authenticate myself that this is my username and password, which is a unique username and password provided by the company to log into this particular website. I have to authenticate. Authenticate in the sense what? I have to enter the right username, write the password, and then click on sign in. In the back end, again the request, including the payload, the username, password, HTTP headers, cookies, version, all these things are sent to the server, asking the server to validate this username and password. Am I right? Validate this username and password. If it is valid, then only it will allow me to sign in into the website. If I am entering something else, and if I click on sign in, invalid login credentials, you have 9 attempts left. Easy? Clear? Okay, na? This is called as authentication. Authorization. If I have sign in with google.com, someone else is doing it, the same email IDs I am able to log into the different websites. So that is called as authorization. Only authorized persons of the Google who is having genuine Gmail IDs should be able to log in into yatra.com. Right? Easy? That is called as authorization. So the difference between authentication and authorization is this. Please make a note of this. Verifies users identity, verifies in the sense validates from what you have entered with the DB. Permits access to the resources. Already authentication is done by someone else, sir. It is allowing you to permit access to that particular website. That is called as authorization. Requirements. Identity credential based, that is your username and password, or permission, or some other authentication solution. ನಿದ್ದೆ ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಆಮೇಲೆ ಇಂಟ್ರೆಸ್ಟ್ ನಿದ್ದೆ ಬರ್ಸ್ತಾನೆ. See, whenever a question is asked, what is the difference between authentication and authorization? You have to explain it with an example. Yatra.com, Myntra.com, BookMyShow, whatever it may be. Okay? You have to explain it with an example. If you are not explaining with an example, they will not allow you to take the next question, or they might ask you to get out of the room. HR will get back to you. All those things. Okay? If you know authentication and authorization difference, then only you will be able to understand OAuth 1 and OAuth 2 in the Postman. On the request side, there is something called as authorization. On the request side, there is something called as